Bow down before my psycho power.
Yesterday we got the trailer for Tekken 8. Today I want to do a in-depth breakdown of a news article that was released by IGN at the exact same time. Before we get into that, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm going to have a lot of videos coming out that's breaking down and dissecting every single aspect of what we've seen. There's this official image of Jun Kazama standing in this weird place. I want to do a video about this topic, so stay tuned to that. Hit that subscribe button. The first thing that I want to point out, it says a glimpse of Tekken 8's heat system, which encourages aggressive play. Some people are saying, so basically this is forced 50-50 mix-ups. But one thing too about fighting games, even Street Fighter is very focused on aggressive play, because not only is it fun to watch, but it's fun to play. Nobody wants to play a super defensive game where both players are turtling and just blocking the whole entire time. Maybe those days of fighting games are over. More on what might be the final showdown between the protagonist, anti-hero Jun Kazama and Kazuya Mishima. This in Tekken 8 might be the final showdown between Jin and Kazuya. A lot of people doubted that Heihachi was gone, and looking at this trailer, I think he's certainly gone. But now it looks like we may possibly even lose, I say Kazuya. There's no way Jin will go, but we may lose Kazuya in this as well. We'll have to get more information on that and definitely see where the game leads us. The paragraph Family Affairs have a brief mentioning of Heihachi, and the volcano isn't what killed Heihachi. The punch to the chest stopped his heart, and that is what killed him. Heihachi being thrown in the volcano and I think charred, as we've seen in the Pachinko slot machines, is just icing on the cake. Stopping his heart is what finished him off. In parentheses right here, it says, and the last two carriers of the devil gene. So this is pretty much confirmation that the Hydro clan is scrapped. We may not get a answer as to what they, who they are. They showed up in Tekken 7, they retconned the story. You had Kazumi, you had Akuma, you had this whole mystery. They're all gone, confirmed. These next two sentences basically says Jin wants to kill Kazuya and end everything. But Kazuya is fresh off of killing Heihachi, and he wants basically to encourage a war. I did a video already about this, but basically the world discovered Kazuya was a demon, and they were trying to figure out how to deal with him. And he was like, you guys are not going to figure out how to deal with me. I'm going to deal with you. And that's when he started attacking everyone. At the end of Tekken 7, it specifically says Kazuya G Corporation is attacking everyone. Jin, you're the only one who can stop them. According to Harada, Tekken 8 takes place 6 months after Tekken 7. So it's not a 3-year time skip like a lot of people wanted. However, this does not mean they can't skip later on in the game. A lot of people are pointing out that there's two separate fights. The fight that we see in basically New York, Manhattan, and then there's a fight that we were shown in the first trailer. I don't know if you want to say time has passed. We'll have to wait and see. The next section does a really good job of comparing the differences between Kazuya and Heihachi and Jin and Kazuya. Their battle, Kazuya and Heihachi, was basically about revenge. But Jin and Kazuya, it's not about revenge. It's more so just about ridding the world of the devil gene. Ever since Tekken 6, he has been trying to get rid of it. And this is just the next step. I do want to note that they say the devil gene itself, as if the devil gene is its own entity, its own, like it's a character or something. This is something that Jin has to overcome specifically. Now this part is really interesting. He's not against using his own devil gene to do that. At the beginning of the trailer, a glove reached out to him from a pool of black smoke as Jin falls. IGN poses a question. Is his own devil trying to help him out? Now, I was wondering in my breakdown, who is pulling him out? Maybe this is Jin envisioning or seeing Devil Jin. He's seeing the corrupt version of himself saying, come on, Jin, tap into this Devil Jin power and really let loose. So maybe that's how this battle will go. Jin doesn't want to use the Devil Jin because that takes him down a dark path. Kazuya beats him up and then makes him go Super Saiyan. Here it says, Harada has admitted that what's happening in Tekken 8 is different than what I originally envisioned because of how long Tekken has taken to get to this point. basically acknowledging Tekken 7 going on for 7 years. These games have such a longer lifespan, you have to be faster to the point. You can't spread out the story because nothing will ever progress. So that's what makes me think we will see a lot of stuff jam-packed into this because Tekken 8 is going to be here for quite some time. You have a paragraph here that talks about Jun Kazama and her being a focal point of the story. This is stuff we've seen from Harada way back when, how she's so important to the story and they want to reintroduce her. I have many videos about this. You guys can check out the Lore Explained playlist and you could get the full history on this character, because in this whole entire news article they really don't say much about the character. So go check out that video, go watch it, and you will know everything you need to about Jun Kazama and basically her introduction into the game. And here Harada kind of goes into a little bit more detail about how he made the game from scratch. The characters look a little bit different. King look ripped, Law looks ripped, Paul looks really different, really. And he's basically saying that's because they built everything from scratch. The models, the animations, everything. So this is kind of their new take on the characters and what they want them to look like, not just assets being carried over from game to game to game. Harada emphasizes that some of the technical elements you'll see in the trailer, including lighting and visual elements, are still a work in progress and not quite up to the level that they want them to be. This is important because it's not like a human eye where you're seeing the reflection of the lighting. You're creating how it's supposed to look artificially. So the lighting and the environmental effects and these kind of things that make the game more immersive are actually going to improve. In this paragraph, they basically talk about how the stages evolve. We saw this in the first trailer with the ship breaking, but they kind of touch on it real briefly again. A few of the stages shown multiple versions which takes place during different times of the day. So we had the one at night, we had it in the daytime with some destruction, the same stage but different atmospheres. This will definitely help the longevity of the game. In all of these paragraphs here, it basically talks about how the reason why they need to switch from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5 is so they can really realize what it is that they wanted to accomplish. It's a reason why it's not going to be on PS4 and Xbox One, is because those consoles just can't handle the type of story and game that the developers want to bring us. It really is going to be something that we haven't seen before. So here you see why they made the heat up be aggressive. A lot of people don't like that it forces a mix up, but Harada says if both players were able to just block 100% of the time, then nothing would happen. Both people would just be spacing and both people would just be, sizing each other up, waiting for someone to whiff. But with this heat up system, you can force the situation. Now we'll see how this actually plays out because it sounds good. It sounds like you won't be able to stall a win. You will have to make a decision. But at the same time, when you start factoring different power levels of characters, that's when it can feel overwhelming, especially when you start talking about DLC, but we'll get there when we get there. And you can see here they're also talking about spectating, making the game fun to watch, go on the offensive rather than turtling. So you can see that they really don't like that kind of playstyle of turtling. They're specifically designed in Tekken 8 so that you can't do that. You're gonna have to fight. And I think that's good. A lot of people just backdash and you can't touch them. I don't know. We're definitely gonna have to see how this heat up system develops. Definitely. But you can see that they want Tekken 8 to be aggressive. They do not want players to just turtle and just stall the match out. It's not just important that the game be fun for the person playing it. It has to also look fun to play to captivate and bring in new people. This is talking about tournaments. This is talking about Twitch. Tekken 7 break records every time it goes to Evo. And with Tekken 8, they want to continue that. They want to continue to break records. And the only way you're going to do that is with fast, exciting gameplay. I agree with what Harada is saying here, but at the same time, the implementation needs to be extra crisp because there is a thin line that you walk with this aggressiveness. This ties into aggressiveness as well. If you're looking at the esports scenes where two people are at the same kind of level, there might not be a lot of offense going on because it's hard for both players to open up their opponent, not a whole lot happens. And you can see this in boxing and other martial arts as well. When two people are on the same level and there's not a lot of attacking going on, we wanted to make sure it's entertaining to watch by motivating players to go on the offensive to try and open up their opponents. Not just because it makes the game more enjoyable, but more entertainment. You can see that Harada is really trying to drive home that entertainment factor. We want the game to be fun to watch. And I have to be honest, a lot of players in Tekken 7, it's not fun to watch. There's a lot, I won't name players, but when a certain player walks up on stage, you just know that the match is going to be boring by their playstyle. And Tekken 8 is trying to change that. Harada, Tekken Prop, they're trying to change it. The final paragraph that I'll read, it says, this goes throughout the game. The stage destruction, the reaction of the characters when they're being hit, the camera, the way it moves when all the action unfolds. It's not just about esports and people who are interested in the scene. It's about making a game interesting to watch and experience as a whole. Whether that's against a human opponent or you're just playing against computer. I really like what Harada is saying in this news article, but I think once again it goes down to execution. This heat rush and all of these aggressive things is definitely going to need to be balanced. And just talking a little bit about Tekken 7 and why people don't attack as much is because of crushing. When you try to attack someone, they crush a mid, a high, a low with a hop kick. I wonder if that will return, because at the end of the day, that is one of the ultimate reasons why people are afraid to press buttons, because you have so many crushing and evasion in the game. And I just want to see if that returns, because that's a big problem. But that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for checking out the video. I will have more videos breaking down the story, characters, and a lot of different things coming to the channel. So hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
もろもろの我がこと罪汚れ清めましょう。